Hey everyone, my name is Karil Nikdao, and in this video I will be demonstrating my third experiment for my physical computing project. This is experiment number 3 out of 6, so if you haven't seen the first 2 experiments, don't forget to check them out. For this experiment, I will be creating a soil moisture sensor using the modules that are included in the Arduino kit. For that, we'll need obviously the Arduino device. I'll be using Arduino Uno. We'll also need a small breadboard that I have right here. We will also be using, of course, the soil moisture sensor module that is available alongside the Arduino kit with its corresponding female to female wires. And we will also be using male to male wires as well. We will also be using resistors. I'll be using a 330 ohm resistor for this project. And last but not the least, we will be using an LED light to determine the moisture of the soil. So these are the materials or the components that we will be using for this project. So without further ado, let's put them all together. First, we will be attaching the soil moisture sensor to the breadboard. Now, if you can see here, this device here, or this part of the module, has 4 pins. The first pin is the analog out, which is where the device gives us the data we need to determine the moisture of the soil. Then there's the digital out, where it gives us binary information about the status of the moisture of the soil. Then the next is the ground pin, which is your classic ground pin. And lastly, the VCC pin, which is the pin that provides power to our device. So we'll connect these 4 pins to the breadboard of the Arduino, just like so. Then we'll also attach the LED light right next to it. Next, we'll put in the resistor for the LED. Then we'll connect the Arduino to the breadboard using the wires. So we'll connect the 5 volts pin to the volts section of the breadboard, and then we'll connect the ground pin to the ground section of the breadboard. You know, maybe let's just connect it directly to the device instead of connecting it to the separate part of the breadboard. So let's just connect it directly. So we'll connect the ground pin to the ground pin of the soil moisture module, and then the volts to the VCC pin of the soil moisture module. Next, we'll connect the analog pin of the device to one of the analog pins on the Arduino. In this case, we put it to analog pin 0. Then we'll also connect the LED to the ground and to its corresponding pin. Now let's connect the sensor itself to the entire circuit. So we'll use the female to female wires that it came with and connect it to the top 2 pins that are on the device. And this is our complete circuit. Now let's bring up the code and upload it to the Arduino device. And I have here a small bowl of water to test out the Arduino experiment. Let's connect the device to the computer and upload the code. There you can see it's lighting up. Now that the code is uploaded, let's test the sensor to the water. So if we put the water or the sensor into the water, the LED should light up, as you can see right here. Now the light on the LED isn't that bright because the water that's on the sensor isn't too much, so it's not reaching the other end of the soil moisture sensor. But the further the water reaches the sensor, the brighter the LED should be. So let's just zoom in a little bit closer right here. Yeah, as you can see, the more water that reaches to the other end of the sensor, the brighter the LED light becomes. Now I have here this potted plant that I haven't watered in a few days, so the soil is not completely dry, but it's a bit dry. There's still some moisture in it, but let's check using the soil moisture sensor. I take the soil moisture sensor right here, I just plug it in or push it into the soil. You can see that it's lighting up. Let me zoom in closer so you can see better. Let's just adjust this. Yeah, so as you can see here, the LED is lighting up, but it's not that bright because the soil isn't that moist, or there's not much water in it. So if we add water to it, let's just water this plant right here. It should light up more brightly. So now you can see how moist the soil is compared to what it was earlier. So let's compare it using the sensor. So as you can see, the light is now brighter than it was before because the soil is more moist. So that is it for this experiment. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.